We're just 4 days away from Election Day, an election where most of the big offices in our state are up for grabs.
Right now, we do want to key in on the State House and Senate, which are both controlled by Republicans. 24-hour News 8 political reporter Rick Alvin is here. Rick, what's at stake Tuesday?
Well, potentially control of the legislature, but what would that look like? In the House, the current makeup is 63 Republicans, 46 Democrats, one vacancy. That vacancy was most recently held by a Democrat, so for easy figuring, we'll call it 63-47. That means to take control, Democrats would have to switch 9 seats to get to 56. When you look at the districts that are competitive, that is possible. It is in almost any election cycle, but it will depend on turnout and what, if any, pull the top of the ticket will have on those down ballot races. Over in the Senate, the Republicans have a stronger hand. There, the GOP has 27 members. Democrats have 10. Again, there's one vacancy. That's a reliable Democratic seat. So again, for easy figuring, we'll call it 27-11, which is the most recent total when all the members were seated. Again, to get to a majority, Democrats would have to turn 9 seats, but 9 of 27 is a considerably tougher task than 9 of 63 over in the House. Still, there appear to be a number of competitive races, particularly given that 19 of the 27 Republican seats are open due to term limits. In all, 26 current members in the Senate will not come back because of term limits in January, and the control of the legislature is always important when we consider when you talk about what happens as far as legislative action goes, but also because of redistricting. Now, traditionally, the House and the Senate have drawn up the new lines for Congress and the State House and the State Senate. If Proposal 2 passes, all of that will be taken away from the legislature, so having control won't really impact redistricting, but it still, of course, is a legislative advantage.
It's definitely something to watch. Speaking of which, Real Clear Politics, the average has Whitmer in the governor's race up by about 8 points, but you just got some news from the Schuette camp.
Yeah, it's interesting because some of this minutia in campaigns kind of goes unreported, but earlier this week we talked about some campaign ad money being pulled out by the Schuette campaign out of markets outside of Detroit. Well, this afternoon we learned that they're back on. In fact, we'll start running ads here on Wood TV beginning tomorrow, and it's worth noting that ads that were in support of the Schuette campaign never came down, but those were just the direct buy ads from the campaign. So the outside advertising continued. It's all part of the way people run their campaigns, and who knows where we go over the next 4 days. I mean, this has been toughly contested, as you said. The average shows the Whitmer campaign up by about 8. Our poll had it down 5 or 6 points, something like that. And at the end of the day, we'll have to see where the momentum is when Tuesday rolls around.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Rick, thank you. Rick